Today we're doing something a little bit different. I want to show you what it's like to be part of Bloomsday here in Spokane. It's one of Spokane's major events that happens every single year. We have Bloomsday, the Lilac Parade, Hoop Fest, a few more, but they're really these standout events that make Spokane special. So I'm going to show you what it's like to be a Bloomie, show you everything from registration to giving you the highlights of the 7-mile race so you know what it's like when you move here to Spokane and can participate yourself. First thing I'm doing is heading over to the convention center behind me back there, picking up my packet. I'm gonna show you what the expo looks like and how crazy this actually is, so stay tuned. All right, well, first things first, we got a carbo load for this thing and get a free grilled cheese from this food truck right here. Let's try it out. Quality. After my grilled cheese fix, I headed inside and up the escalator, and shout out to Electric Photoland, the photo booth I'm about to walk by, but our convention center here in Spokane is beautiful, and we're about to pick up my bib for the race. All right, so now we're in the convention center. It's a little crazy, but I'm gonna go pick up my bib over here, and then we'll go walk around all the booths. Like, they have like every major shoe brand here, more food, all this kind of stuff, so I'll show you around once I go grab my running number over here. All right. Bib number accomplished. Let's head inside, see what the craziness is about, what they're selling in here. So I'm pretty sure it's recommended to not buy new shoes the day before it's like a 7.5-mile race, but you have like every major shoe company in here, from New Balance, Adidas, all this kind of stuff. And then Fleet Feet is probably the best running shoe store here in Spokane. So if you do need new running shoes while you're here, head to Fleet Feet because they'll get you set up. And then you can carbo load even more because the Franz company, the bread company, is here just handing out loaves of bagels and bread so that you can just load up before the big race. The further you get into it, the less and less it becomes about running. Like right away, it's all running shoes, and the shoe company is spending the most to be at the front. But then we have just like everything that you could think of, from food, from random food to gutters. Basically just a convention at this point of just anything that can sell. Like you could get a new bathtub right there. So just a huge convention, just because they know that tens of thousands of people are going to be coming through here to pick up their race number. So the numbers went all the way up to like 40,000. So I think there's probably going to be close to about 40,000 people running this race this weekend. Don't miss out on the money machine. That's the most important part. So it is the day of, and we're working our way to our spot here. And for most people, we rode our bikes. I didn't film because it was going to be dangerous, except I got some B-roll here. But most people have to park like way out, so it's really not a 7-mile race. It's really just how close could you park to the event and walk your way in. So we live close to the Centennial Trail. We biked in here. We just parked. They're going to watch our bikes all day for us, and now we're working our way through the craziness to find our spot. All right, so we are an hour early for when our time block, for a 45-minute time block. So it'll start somewhere in that 45 minutes, and we have an hour until that starts. They're just blasting music, and there's a lot of people waiting here. So because we were so early, we did go for a walk for about 15 to 20 minutes. And when we got back, this is how much our group had filled in by then. And then while we're here, I want to show you a couple cool traditions that go on for Bloomsday. So the first is that you're supposed to bring a sweatshirt for the beginning to keep yourself warm, and then you throw it into the tree before you start so it can be donated to Goodwill. And then of course, no large gathering of people would be complete without beach balls flying around and pelting people in the back of the head. And then as the morning progressed, our group started to inch closer and closer to the starting line. And then when we finally got the green light, it is a little bit anticlimactic because there is such a large group of people that you kind of just walk across the start line rather than taking off in a full-on sprint, but it picks up pretty quickly. So now the race has started, and we're actually gonna be able to follow along this flyover alongside the B-roll that I caught while running it. So you start in downtown Spokane, pretty flat, and through Brown's Addition, there's actually a hill that heads down, but immediately after that, it starts to go uphill again, as you can see coming up here shortly. And that's what some of the professionals mentioned, that they've run marathons before, but this course is just as hard as a marathon, even though it's half as long, because of all of the up and down throughout the course that you're gonna see throughout this little film here. But we're coming up on the first water break, which there's tons of volunteers that are handing out water. So continuing down Government Way and heading into mile 4, you're about to see how I was looking after running that long. But the cool thing about this community event is that there is live music along the whole course. And so after you get a look at my mug, you're gonna hear some of the cool support that you have along the track. So heading into mile 5, you're looking at Bloomsday Hill, which is the infamous, ginormous, like half-mile long hill that you have to go up. At the very top, you are greeted by Spokane's favorite mascots, from the Chiefs, the Spokane Indians, the baseball team. My friend is actually in that Doris costume right there. And so they're cheering you on as you make the trek to the top of Bloomsday Hill and into West Central. And then mile 6 is on the northern end of West Central, which is actually a really cool neighborhood. It's got a lot of charm, and there were so many cool houses on the edge of the cliff there, people cheering you on. And you make your way through the neighborhood, heading towards downtown, and you turn back onto Broadway, heading towards the finish line and into mile 7, running past a couple awesome businesses like Vu Care, which is like a New Orleans style restaurant. And as you keep going down Broadway, you see the courthouse. That is, you're so close to the finish line, making your way towards the end here. And then you round the corner, heading towards Kendall Yards, down Monroe Street, heading towards the Monroe Street Bridge to reach that final finish line. It feels so good, and we are still recovering from the next day because 7.5 miles is way longer than I normally run. Across the finish line. Woo! Woo-hoo! And then you're not quite done yet. You got to walk about another 1/4 mile into downtown past the mall and City Hall to pick up your t-shirt, which the design this year was super awesome. And then since we biked downtown, we got to walk back, get our bikes, and bike home from here. So it is definitely a physically taxing day. So this is me 2 days later editing the video that you just watched, and I hope you enjoyed watching this little vlog tour of Bloomsday here in Spokane. It is honestly one of my favorite community events because it just really brings out the best in the Spokane community. So many people focused on the same goal, and so many people cheering on each other, and just bringing tens of thousands of people together. So in terms of what is the community like here in Spokane, it's incredibly supportive, and it's really brought out during events like this. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you are making a move to Spokane, I'm a realtor in the area and would love to be your real estate resource. Call, text, email anytime, or use the link down in the description to schedule a meeting directly on my calendar at a time that's convenient for you. Thanks so much, and have a good one.